Do not stand by in the presence of evil.
Alita Battle Angel is a 2019 cyberpunk action film directed by Robert Rodriguez based on a very popular 1990s manga series and starring Rosa Salazar, Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly, and Mahershala Ali. The film follows Alita, played by Rosa Salazar, an amnesiac cyborg who was discovered by Dr. Dyson Ito, played by Christoph Waltz, in a scrapyard. Not knowing who or where she is or why she has a new body, Alita finds herself learning how to survive in Iron City while uncovering her past and identity and protecting Dr. Ito and herself from hunters who see her as a threat. One thing I should say is that I haven't read the manga series that this film is based on. I've read a little bit of it, but not enough to compare the two, so this is going to be a review of the movie as its standalone thing. This is now my 4th time watching this movie, and I have to say I enjoy watching this movie every single time. This is one of those movies that shouldn't work because not only does it sound so ambitious on paper, and of course its source material is significantly long, but visually this movie asks the audience to suspend their disbelief and fully immerse themselves into this new world. It shouldn't work as well as it does, but it really works. There is one main reason why this film works as well as it does, but before I get into it, I want to talk about other aspects in the film that stand out. Robert Rodriguez had some tough shoes to fill with the visuals in the film. James Cameron was originally supposed to direct the film in the early 2000s, with him even going as far as trying to get new technology created just to make the film in his vision. But he ended up being too busy with Avatar and the Avatar sequels, and so he stepped down and let his good friend Robert Rodriguez carry on that directing task. With Rodriguez accepting the job and 600 pages of notes that James Cameron had written, I think it's extremely impressive just how much world building this movie really does. The movie is 2 hours long, and with just the first frame, you get a sense of scale and richness that Iron City has. You also meet Alita right away, and you immediately see her really big eyes, and you're like, whoa, okay, I need to get used to this. This is different, you know? She steps outside and you see the streets of Iron City. The CGI is so vivid, and just like that, everything just sort of falls into place one by one. New characters, new locations, new details in the plot, new emotional stakes, everything just flows. So when you're finally introduced to the other bounty hunters, or you see things like this, you don't get too startled or too surprised. You just accept it because it's part of this world. In that way, I think the movie did a phenomenal job of making itself feel like you're reading a book or a manga, where the introduction of new characters and new locations just flows so well. The CGI is very photorealistic, and it has just enough of an artistic twist to make it feel unique and interesting. The character of Dr. Ito, played by Christoph Waltz, is one of the 2 characters in the movie who I think carried the story so well. He seems so warm and passionate about Alita that you really feel that he sees her as his daughter. And even the reveal later on that he named Alita after his daughter who passed away doesn't feel cheap or unearned. It feels sincere and warm. He's somebody who you just see carries a lot of pain and a few regrets from his past, but chooses to do the right thing whenever he sees himself confronted in a situation. I really like the father-daughter aspect in the film. I think it's honestly a bit underrated in the movie because it elevates the character of Alita into a very unique point of view. And so with that being said, let's talk about the one main thing that makes this movie work so well, and the other character that carries the story completely, Alita herself. Alita is honestly one of the best characters I have seen in recent movies. I kept thinking about the reason why she works so well, and I was honestly stumped on what to say. I mean, visually, she just looks like a 3D version of a manga character, but what makes her stand out as much as she does? And honestly, I think it's the fact that she is one of the most rootable and endearing characters I have ever seen. She is a fighter in every sense of the word. She loves hard, she protects what she loves, she fights for what's right, she follows her dreams, and is so damn noble that she literally wants to do everything she can to make sure that the people she loves are happy. She doesn't take shit from anyone, proves the people who doubt her wrong, single-handedly fights for what she believes in, all meanwhile not even knowing who she is, where she comes from, or what her surroundings even are.
I don't even know my own name.
And she still loves her life and is appreciative of everything that she has and of the people who help her. For example, this is her reaction to trying chocolate for the first time.
That's so great.
It's good, right?
I have a favorite food now. This is my favorite fruit.
I wouldn't call it that.
I would.
And this is her response to being knocked down while playing rollerball and seeing what she needs to do to win.
Sorry.
She just fights and fights and fights and never gives up at all. There comes a point in the movie where she literally loses her legs, loses one arm, and still keeps fighting.
Fuck your mercy.
I mean, my God, how much more of a fighter can she possibly be? She is fucking badass. And she does this all while carrying the stress of not knowing who she is and what she's going to do, but she never complains or gives up or succumbs to her doubts or pain. She just keeps going and keeps fighting. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of a more rootable character than her. You want her to win. You see her struggles, and every time you see her fighting for what's right, you want her to win. She is a perfect example of a rootable character, and then to top it off, her passion for life and her good heart, although it's a cyborg heart, gives her an endearing quality that just makes her even more rootable and likable. Rosa Salazar did an incredible job playing her, but man, Alita is so badass. So what didn't I like about the movie? Well, I wish Jennifer Connelly's character had more screen time. She was an interesting character. The rollerball stuff is something I could live without, but I would give it a pass because Alita was so badass there too. And the ending, not gonna lie, was disappointing. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I won't spoil it for you, but it kind of ends in a cliffhanger. And if this was literally any other movie and it ended like that, I would be really mad and disappointed. But because this movie handled its setting and world building and characters so well, especially Alita, I didn't mind the cliffhanger that much. In fact, I really hope they make a sequel for the movie. I'm excited for it. I would love to see more of Alita being badass. All in all, I think Alita Battle Angel is a very solid movie, masterfully crafted, and featuring one of the most likable characters in recent memory. I really do hope they make a sequel for it. I would give Alita Battle Angel a 9 out of 10. But what do you think about the movie? Have you seen it? Were you as surprised as I was? And yeah, leave it in the comments, and that's the end of the video. Goodbye.